What's up, everyone? This is Dave, aka Finance Guy, bringing you another 54 box EverQuest raid on EQ Emulator on a local install of my computer. We are in North Temple of Veeshan. We recently killed Ikatia the Venom and Ishan of the Sky. We're gonna kill Aaryonar now, and I hate Aaryonar. I don't know if Aaryonar is a male or female. I call her she because Ari, I think of a girl. Um, you can correct me. I don't really care. I'm gonna call her she throughout the video. If you've been liking the videos so far, like, share, comment, subscribe, show the support. I will keep doing these. Right now, my characters are buffing up. I'll skip I'll skip time if it takes a while because it does take a while to buff. Not all my characters have enough mana to buff all the groups they're assigned to, so there's a lot of meditating and whatnot. Just not there yet on the gear. I'm gonna show you a few things before we pull. This is it's a pretty intense fight because Aaryonar has an AoE that debuffs everyone's attack power, does a little bit of damage over time, and essentially drains your mana to zero. It does about 500 per tick. You can resist it. I just generally don't. I just have had terrible luck, even with Bard Song, even with resist gear. I almost do not resist it. So, gonna come up to Aaryonar right now. Some flurry drakes hanging out by him, or just some drakes in general. I am gonna pound kill them just to make this a little easier for explanations. Just gonna kill the drakes. On live, Aaryonar does not have ads. On this install, she does. She has an ad there and an ad there. And frankly, I think to split them, you can use like Eye of Talon and some fancy pull techniques with Pacify. I think you can pacify them and pull Aaryonar, without pulling them. The first time I did it, I essentially pulled Aaryonar and her two ads, burned down the ads, wiped on purpose, and then set back up again and killed Aaryonar. It's just such a pain in the neck, and I don't know the right way to do it. So I just pound killed them, and we're gonna kill Aaryonar by herself. And just do hopefully a dirty fight because Aaryonar is not a clean fight. Aaryonar has Call of the Zero, so the second you pull her, she yanks you to her, and that's a one-way fall. And I don't want to fight her in the pit. I want to fight her on this corner because I can hide the clerics right here, and the clerics will not get affected by the mana drain. So that's really the only way I know how to fight her. When you're not boxing, or if you have some fancy footwork type macros, you would normally not get hit by the AoE if you were a caster because you'd kite in and out. But I don't have a setup like that. I know how to do it. It's just a lot of work, and I haven't done it. I've killed Aaryonar without having to do it. So we're just gonna do it kind of the dirty way. So real quick, I'm gonna go on Emily. She's one of my bards that is not as important. I'm gonna end her macro. I'm going to twist, which is for her songs. Twist 7, which is Ancient Lucia's Lament, which is an raid-wide hit point and mana song. This will be for the clerics. She's gonna stay back with the clerics. I just noticed she's still cursed from the Atreyer Vias. Huh. That's interesting. I did not realize that. So I'm gonna do /BCT Emily / tell Zach remove greater curse. And then he's gonna remove the curse. Okay, the curse is off her, so she's good. So what we're gonna do is we can talk about the pull real quick. There's a few ways to pull Aaryonar. I kill a character. I kill one of my Shadow Knights because quite frankly, if Dave dies, the fight's over. I've tried so many times to recover with Ali, and if Dave dies, the fight's pretty much over. That's just how it goes. So I'm going to first move everyone into position. So I'm going to do follow me, not clerics. We're going to leave the clerics behind. And we're going to, real quick, just move everyone to where I want to land Aaryonar. Again, I don't know if Aaryonar is a ability caster. I'm pretty sure she's not. But I just move everyone right here anyway, just for simplicity. And everyone's going to end up meleeing anyway. By the end of the fight, everyone's going to be meleeing because they're going to have no mana. We want to make sure we're in decent range of the clerics for complete heal. We don't want to be too far away. Aaryonar does spin you around when she calls as a zero, so there is some fancy footwork, which you'll see in the middle of the fight. I'm going to say stop. I'm going to get the complete heal rotation started, or prepped. So I hit my prep 1 and prep 2 buttons, which turns off the macros of my 6 clerics who are in the complete heal rotation. I think I've said 9 clerics. 6 of them are in the rotation, 3 are not. The 3 that are not are hopefully just going to patch heal. So we're just going to kind of go from there and pray to God. I still wiped her enough. This may not go well. We'll see. I hope for the best. I've killed her 2 or 3 times now, but she still kills me sometimes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab Arthur, and I'm going to end his macro and unsummon his pet. I'm going to bring him up here to where you can see Aaryonar. And then I'm going to grab Norm, who is slightly less geared than Arthur, so he's going to be my sacrificial lamb. I'm going to end his macro, and I'm going to leave, exit his pet. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Harm Shield on Norm and drop into the pit. This will aggro Aaryonar. When Harm Shield is up, Call of the Zero stops working. So Aaryonar will charge me. When Harm Shield wears off, Aaryonar is going to kill Norm. As that's happening, as Norm is dying, Arthur will cast Harm Shield from up here. Aaryonar will kill Norm, aggro Arthur, jump up onto these stairs, and since Harm Shield is up, Arthur won't get called. Arthur's going to run back to Dave, and Dave's going to take aggro. And I'm going to start the heal rotation. It's a lot of steps, and if you mess up on any of the steps, you're probably going to wipe. If this is not your own server, it is a real show, shit show, whatever, to clean up after yourself. So this is why I like doing it on my own server. I can just bring everyone back to life. So here we go. We're going to see how this goes. So we're going to Harm Shield, run forward. Aarionar's going to aggro. I'm going to back up to the wall. I'm going to really quickly switch to Arthur and just hang tight. Just going to watch combat spam. And as soon as Norm starts taking damage, I'm going to cast Harm Shield on Arthur, because Norm can survive for a little while. Arthur just got hit by the AoE, which means he's going to run out of mana shortly. So so Norm's taking damage. Here comes Harm Shield. I didn't get Spirit of Wolf on Arthur, so he's going to hobble back, which kind of sucks. Oh, come on, Aaryonar. Come on, Aaryonar. All right, good. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. So we're going to run back to Dave. Slow. Oh, my God. That's what happens when Harm Shield runs off too soon. So we're in serious trouble now. Now the pets are going to take over, so it actually might buy me some time. So we're going to hang tight. We're going to BCAA/pet back off. Get the pets back here. We're going to use Furious. We're going to provoke Aaryonar. All right, we got it up. We're going to start the complete heal rotation. We're going to just quickly debuff and dot Aaryonar, because we're going to have no mana before we know it. So we're going to just go for broke and try to get everything we can on her. We use Big Fire. Just nuke the crap out of her. And then we're going to engage. Everyone just kill her. And before you have no mana, before you have no nothing. I'm going to set the timing of the complete heal rotation to 5, because that's generally good enough. I should have done it before they started, but so they'll be a little behind on the mana at first. I'm going to do quick burns just to get it out of the way, because I hope to have multiple quick burns throughout the fight. I may use a Veteran AA if I have it. I'm not sure if they're up right now. I may have used them previously. Aaryonar is a great fight for staunch recovery, intensity, the resolute, just because you get that extra kick. I do have avatar weapons on several of the melee. That helps so much, because the debuff that she puts on you is negative 200 attack, which is a lot right now. And avatar gives you plus 100, so and strength too if you need it, but plus 100 attack, which negates half of Aarionar's debuff, which is fantastic. We're gonna assume by now that mana is pretty much empty. So what I'm gonna do is type /BC combat mode melee. And what that's gonna do is tell everyone to melee. All the casters, all the shaman, all the druids, anyone who's out here is gonna melee. And what's good about that is some of my casters have proc weapons. Weapons that proc direct damage attacks, like the Staff of the Silent Star off, I believe, Feshlak, and it procs like a 600 DD fire spell. So it just does a little extra damage, every minute or so when it goes off. And now this, unfortunately, is a very slow, drawn-out fight. As the disciplines wear off, as the mana runs out, it just, I was unable to slow her before I ran out of mana. Sometimes I am able to. She's very magic resistant. If you slow her, it makes the fight easier. I'd highly recommend as a boxer that your warrior has, an absolute absurd amount of armor class. Not because she hits hard, not because, she's hard in that respect. It's just because you want to make sure your clerics don't run out of mana, and that means you need to do a slower complete heal rotation. And since the fight takes a while, they're going to be complete healing for a longer period of time, and therefore you're going to want to. Looks like I might actually be out of range of the complete heal, so I'm backing up a little bit. I'm backing her up towards the clerics. All right, that's better. Yeah, so you get spun around, and you can try to rotate to be back down there by the clerics, or you can just back off a little bit. It does make the melee get confused. They do run back and forth, and it's super annoying. But there's nothing you can do about it, and this causes problems in other fights elsewhere at NToV. I have trouble with Lady Miranella because she silences, and you can hide the clerics, but when she calls the zero the tank, you get out of range of complete heal, and you have mere second or two to get back in range. My defensive is now down. I'm going to tighten the heal chain because I am getting killed, having trouble. I'm going to tighten it to 4 seconds. And again, this is why you want to have a lot of armor class, because this fight does drag on. You can see Mary and Shelby have plenty of mana, so a 4-second heal chain, I'm hoping won't run them down. I'm going to do quick burns again for more melee burn. But this fight is essentially going to take a while. We're going to hang tight. I'm not going to pause the recording and pick it up again when she's almost dead. You can fast forward if you want, but I will try to keep talking about whatever I can that might be interesting for this fight and other NToV fights. But mostly what you're doing is keeping the tank backing up every time you get called zeroed, so you don't get hit from behind. If you get hit from behind, you can't dodge, parry, or riposte, so it's a lot more times you're going to get hit. I don't know about being missed, but you definitely don't want to get hit from behind. God, if you imagine Aaryonar could backstab, that'd be no fun. Be no fun at all. The thing about Aaryonar is she's one of the hardest dragons in NToV. If you can take down Aaryonar, then almost every other fight is fairly straightforward. Not every fight. I can't take down all the dragons. Like Viam is a complete nightmare with his knockback. I haven't even tried him. I'm not even gonna bother right now. The triplets, if you can split them, they're easy. They have very low health. Nevidaria is a pain in the neck because she has a spin stun, and if you get spin stun out of range of heals, like if you're hiding your healers, you're dead because you can't move for like 5 or so seconds, and it's like, good luck. And that's, you need to get resistances, and the best way to do that, blue diamond gear, and farming the other NToV dragons, and farming Dozakar and getting Dozakar quest items. Dave has pretty much, so I can get this up while playing him. He has like there's no real resist on that, but that's a Dozakar item. This is like a huge resist item from Dozakar. That's a Dozakar item with some resist. This is some resist, not ton, but good stats. That's not. This is from Sleeper's Tomb. Decent, some resist, not huge, but something. And it's just really stacking the resist as much as you can, because you don't want to get hit by that spin stun. And obviously, you have to get this across all your characters. If you're 54 boxing, you might be doing this for weeks before you really break down NToV, unless you just chain respawn the zone, which I don't do. I have there's every part of my power. I could respawn the zone over and over and over again and do the same thing over and over again. But I'd probably start hating the game. So I try to not do the same zone more than once a day. I also have a life, obviously. I work, and we just lost Allie. Great. So if Dave dies, it's really over now. But yeah, I work. I'm married, so I don't have time to do this all damn day. But I do have enough time to play when I want, and I do a raid zone once a day at most. Unless it's like a quick fight. If it's quick, like, King Tormax or Statue of Ralisec, I can generally do that a couple times a day and not feel like I'm just like cheesing it. So Aaryonar is at 38%. It's still anyone's game. The clerics are running low in mana now. It was about a little under half. I'm gonna slow down the complete heal rotation to 5 seconds again. I'm just not taking any chances. I'd rather Dave have some close calls than for the clerics to run out and me to definitely die. Because if Dave definitely dies, it's gonna be game over. The last time I wiped Aaryonar, she was at 23% and Dave died. And from 23% to wipe, I got her down another maybe 8%. But it wasn't even close. It was super stupid. And I might. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with these clerics. I'm going to try using a Veteran AA, and I try not to use these. I'm going to try using Staunch. So I'm going to type in BCAA//Staunch, and let's see if it works. It didn't. I don't think it worked. Let's try again. No, it didn't work. So that's bad. I don't know why it didn't work. Let me try it without BCA. Let me just try /Staunch. No. Okay, let's try Intensity. BCAA/Intensity. Yeah, I guess are my AAs permanently down, or what's going on here? It says it's ready. I wonder if I can't do it in the middle of the fight. I could have sworn I've done it before in the middle of a fight, but anyway, we're not gonna do it. We don't have the capability. So whatever reason, it's not happening. So we're just gonna keep fighting. Clerics are getting lower, so I'm gonna loosen the timing a little further. I'm gonna do 6 seconds, and this actually might kill Dave. But again, I'd rather attempt to survive than to run out of mana and just drop dead. I don't know how I do this. Usually, if I get a slow off on her, she's a lot easier because then I can set timing 7 or 8 for the first like 4 or 5 minutes of the fight, especially when defensive's up, and then I'm fine. But Ancient Lycia's Lament, what the bard's using, what Emily's using, is only so good. And I'm trying to get more mana regen items on my clerics. A lot of the Luclin raid mobs that I do drop +1 and +2 mana regen items. I'm also working on the shawl, the Coldane Prayer shawl. The way I'm doing it is I'm going to finish it on one character and give it to all the other ones who can use it. It makes more sense that way. Why do it? It's a very long quest. So I'm going to do it once and give it to everyone. It's +3 mana regen. It's the best in slot shoulder item for all casters and all priests in Velious, the 8th shawl. The 7th shawl is 2 technically, but I'm doing the 8th shawl just because it comes out in Luclin, as far as I remember. And yeah, now we're starting to have problems. I'm starting to see Dave getting lower and lower on life because the healers are getting really low, and it's possible some of the clerics are running out of mana and not casting complete heal, and they're skipping their turn. They won't report that in the raid, say, in the lower right where it says chat 2. They're not going to say they're out of mana. It's something I didn't code into the script. I just kind of keep an eye on Mary and Shelby's mana, and wherever they are is a good indicator of where the other clerics are, because I try to make my complete heal clerics have approximately the same amount of mana and the same amount of mana regen as best as possible. So, fight's getting close to the end. Clerics are almost out. And I really don't know what's going to happen because she's just not going down very fast. It's not that she has a lot of hit points. She actually doesn't. She has I think 400k. What makes her take so long is you have no casters, and the melee are missing a lot, and they're doing minimum damage. You can't quite see it in the combat spam because it's moving so fast. I see a lot of 1s and 2s and 9s and 3s, 12s. No one's hitting for max damage. Even the guys with avatar weapons who are hitting a little harder, because that disempower is a nightmare. And in the perfect world, you would kite the AOE in and out. I just haven't figured out an efficient way to do it. So I'm making it hard on myself by doing it this way. But it looks like I'm going to win. Dave hasn't taken any close calls yet. He's getting down to 50% health, sometimes 40 or 30. I think I've seen a few times. But Mary and Shelby are about 15% mana. Oh, Shelby just got really low. That's problematic. She's probably got 1 or 2 complete heals left in her. We're gonna have to I might be able to win if Dave dies at this point. I don't know if Aaryonar can kill 50-something characters before taking this much of her life and damage. Just lost an That's weird. An enchanter died. That's so strange. I wonder how that happened. I wonder. I don't think she rampages, so I don't know what that was. I'm. I'm not. I'm. Whatever. I always lose my enchanters. Always lose my enchanters. They don't have a clue. Um. But yeah, we're at 6%. I don't want to say to win yet because it's anyone's game. Those Shelby is almost out of mana. Mary is now getting to a critical mana spot. I don't know about the other clerics. Liko, Kitty, Sid, and Tammy are the other 4 clerics. I can't see their mana, and I'm definitely not going to alt tab to see what their mana is because the second I get off Dave's screen, he can easily get called to 0, attacked from behind, and killed. So, but I think I got this fight now. 2%. I don't think there's any way I would lose now, even when Dave got like one-shotted, because I just can't imagine Aaryonar can do that much damage to a whole raid. Because she doesn't really have any damage spells, right? Oh, it's close. Her dot does 50 points of damage, which is negligible. I think the bards can practically out-regenerate that. All right. Woo! Aaryonar is down. I hate that fight. I hate that fight. That fight sucks, and I don't think I will ever like that fight. So I'm just going to bring back Allie, Norm, and Dusty. I'm going to tell you guys something. There's something I learned playing on live with other people. You don't have to kill Aaryonar right off the bat when you're breaking into North Temple of Veeshan. You can actually skip her, and it's a trick. And I'll show you what you have to do. So, that was not the right command. 1 second. Okay. What you have to do is you need a monk, a necromancer, and a mage. You clear to where we are now. You kill the mage. Then what you do is you run the monk into Aaryonar with the void dance, or the invulnerability, and you have the monk run to the right. You can use a harm shield too. It's easier with the monk. You get Aaryonar as far away from her spawn point as possible. And then feign death. You could die too, but you probably will die, but feign death or die. The necromancer then drags the mage's corpse, invulnerable, all the way across all this stuff. You might want to have a bard song on just to go faster, or Spirit of Eagle or Wolf or whatever. And right around here where Vulak spawns, there's no mobs. You need to get this far. Then you need to feign death as the necromancer. Once you feign death, wait for aggro to clear, get back up, then you need to res the mage with an Essence Emerald. So make sure you have an Essence Emerald. When the mage is back up, you can camp that mage out there indefinitely, and the mage can call the hero the raid going forward. And by doing that, you have access to all of NToV without killing Aaryonar. And Aaryonar is one of the hardest dragons. So if you don't have GM commands, like I do, and I could skip Aaryonar as much as I want. If you don't have GM commands, you can totally just, monk this way, mage and necro that way, res the mage corpse, res the mage of an Essence Emerald, and then have the mage park and camp there indefinitely. It's a super cool trick. I hate Aaryonar, and I would do that, but I have GM commands, and I can just, I can run right past her, pound kill her, or whatever, and just not, don't loot her corpse. So, hey, what did Aaryonar drop? Like, I shouldn't talk. I don't want this corpse to go to waste. So, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. I've killed Aaryonar 3 or 4 times, and she's dropped this stupid shield each time that's rotted. She has such great loot, and this stupid shield keeps dropping, and I don't want it. What is this? The Circlet of Summer. So, this is not one of her better items. It's a good item, but it's not one of her better items. I like Amulet of the Dreadgazer, and the Hand of the Master is my favorite 2 items that she drops. I actually have the Hand of the Master on Dave. This is a much better item. But I'll still take this. I will have to give up some fire resist because most of my characters have a Froglock crown on for the resist. So I'm going to do Find Slot Head only Priests that has Wisdom on it. And yeah, see, most people have a Reet Froglock crown, which is just for resists. You get that Sibyllus by the Juggernaut, the Reet Frogs. So who am I going to give it to? It's going to be kind of arbitrary because it's not a huge item. I guess it's decent, actually. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to give it to... Let's just... I could check each character to see who needs it the most. I'm just going to give it to... We'll give it to Liz. Good. because I don't think she's one of the clerics that is not in the complete heal rotation, so I probably neglect her a little bit because the clerics in the rotation need the most amount of mana because they're being utilized the most in a given raid fight. So get this item off her. Oh, that was a nice mana upgrade, like 140. And yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to show you a GM command that I haven't shown you before. I could totally just, take that item off her corpse, and then the corpse would decay. But say you have a ton of NPC corpses just lying all over the place. You can type pound corpse space delete NPC corpses, and now the corpse goes away. You can do the same with player corpses. Don't do this if there's anything on the corpse because it may permanently delete. You can do pound corpse, delete player corpses, and once again, if there are anything on the corpses, money, items, this may delete the corpse. This will do to every corpse in the zone. Be careful. I don't put anything on my corpses. Even though they look like there's stuff on them, there's nothing on them. So, and this will clean up corpses. So like, say you're wiping a lot and you have like tons of corpses in the zone and it's causing lag, you can delete corpses by doing that. But, use cautiously. All right, guys, that was Aaryonar. I'm very lucky that she died on for you guys because she does still kick my butt sometimes. I'm going to record more of North Temple of Veeshan. I can't clear it yet, but I can clear a lot of it. If you like what you see, like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see. I'm doing mostly Velious and Luclin content right now. Yeah, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.